Namaste, I am Pratibhakini. Welcome back to my channel. Do you struggle to sustain Aramandi? Do you have problems opening those knees which are a result of bad foot turnout? This video has got you covered. The majority of us sit for most of our days shortening the hip flexors at the front of the hip and tightening the hip rotators. Hip mobility and hip extension are of utmost importance for a Bharatanatyam dancer. Let us see why. Many dancers are not aware of the fact that the turnout of the foot happens from the hips. It is not enough if we just rotate our foot outwards. For a better turnout and hence better Aramandi, dancers must use their external hip rotators and glutes to rotate their legs outwards and to sustain that rotation while doing Aramandi, Anchitapada, leaps and turns. Hip has wide variety of functions with ability to perform 6 different types of movements, namely flexion and extension, which is movement of the thigh forward and backward, adduction and abduction, which is movement of the thigh inwards and outwards, medial rotation and external rotation, that is rotation of the thigh inwards and outwards. Hip mobility could be poor because of many reasons like tight spine, weak core, glutes, hamstrings and tight hip flexors. I've already made a video on how to strengthen core, hamstrings and legs. Do check them out. It is very important that you warm up well to avoid injuring your hip flexors and groin. So do warm up before diving into these hip openers. Check the link above if you have not already. Do subscribe to my channel for some useful videos. Like always, I will be sharing a useful tip. So do watch till the very end. First exercise is Malasana. Place your feet wider than shoulder width apart, flat on the floor, toes facing out. Sink into a deep squat. Your torso should be upright. Place your hands in prayer position in front of your chest. Elbows pointed out to the sides. Use your elbows to press your knees open. Hold for 30 seconds and repeat for 5 times. Next exercise is seated internal hip rotators. Sit on the floor. Bend your knees, placing your feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Bring both the knees towards the floor, once to the right and then to the left. Keep alternating. For stability, place your hands on the floor behind you. Do 10 to 15 reps of this on each side. Next exercise is clamshell. Lie down on your side with knees bent at 45-degree angle. Keeping your heels together, lift your top knee as high as possible without moving your hips. Don't move your lower leg off the floor. Do 10 to 15 reps of this on each side. Next exercise is supine leg circles. Lie down on your back. Begin with your hips, legs and feet turned out on the floor. Inhale as you lift your right leg until it is perpendicular to the floor, maintaining turnout. Exhale as you slowly move your right leg, making an outward circle while maintaining your hip and shoulder placement. Then reverse, performing inward circles. Do 10 reps each of the outward circle and inward circle on each leg. Next exercise is low lunge. Come into a lunge with the back knee down on the mat. If this stretch is good enough, you can stay leaning forward. But if there is more space, start to push your hips down, holding your spine upright. You could also take your hand above and bend to the opposite side to stretch your hip more. Do 10 reps of this on each side. To feel the stretch, hold the stretch for 10 to 20 seconds at least. Next exercise is Baddha Konasana variation. Bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet together. Bring your heels as close to your pelvis as you can without feeling pressure or pain in your knees. Wrap your hands around your feet or ankles and start rotating on the spot with the help of your butt muscles. Never force your knees down. It could be bad for your groin. Do the same on the other side and repeat 5 times on each side. Next exercise is fire log variation. Stack your right leg on top of the left. Be sure the right ankle is outside the left knee. You could stay here or breathe in, elongating your spine, and breathe out as you fold forward. Hold the pose for 20 seconds. Switch sides and do this for 5 times on each side. Next exercise is hip flexor stretch. Lie down on your side and bend at your knee. Grab your ankle from behind and hold. Stay there for 30 seconds. Switch sides and repeat 5 times on each side. Next exercise is squat internal rotation. Come into a deep squat like you did in Malasana, alternating between right and left. Bring the knee to the floor while you hold the other leg in place. Keep your spine straight. Do this 10 times on each side. Next exercise is Warrior 2 variation. Come into a lunge. Turn your right foot to the right side and your left foot out at 90 degrees. Align the left heel with the right heel. Now push the bent knee outwards while staying in this position. Hold for 30 seconds. switch sides and repeat for 5 times on each side. When you dance, your hips and core work together. When hips are tight, they increase the load and cause overuse of the spine. Opening the hips results in improved range of motion, better circulation, more support for the muscles of the back and the spine, hence decreased back pain. So a dancer needs to have very flexible and strong hips. There are over 20 muscles that cross the hip. The collection of inner thigh muscles, outer thigh muscles, the hip flexors in the front, deep lateral rotators in the back, and many more. So any movement that stretches any of these muscles could be considered to be a hip opener. So do check out the asanas mentioned in the flexibility and cool down videos, especially lizard pose, pigeon pose, figure of 4, wide leg forward bend, Supta Virasana, crooked monkey pose, and side to side squat, which also act as hip openers. I've mentioned the links in the video box below. It's now time for the tip. How do you know if your dance is appealing? How do you know whether or not you're doing it right? How do you improvise? Tip number 1. Reach out to your guru when you want to know if it's right or wrong. I'm sure no teacher will ever say no to correct your form or your expressions or adavus or anything. Tip number 2. Video yourself. Watch it and analyze your performance. What are your weaknesses? What do you like in your dance? Don't forget, we all are still learning, and congratulate yourself for every little progression. Be patient. Your worst scenario is never as bad as you think. Tip number 3. Watch your favorite dancers closely, noting things such as body alignment, posture, and technique. Try to find ways to incorporate them in your own dancing, but do not imitate. Just get inspired by the aesthetics. Tip number 4. Attend performances. Watch even mediocre dancers. Good or bad, you will know what must be done and what must not be done. As you watch, think about the connections between the movements, how the choreographer interpreted certain lines, or how the dancer executed them. That's all I had for today. Do comment below if you have suggestions, doubts, or questions. Let me know what you think about today's video. Give me a thumbs up and click that like button if you think this was helpful, and share it with your friends. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because I post some super useful content every Saturday at 7 p.m. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.